What's going on, guys? John here from The Real Talk, back again with our second stop on the road to Infinity War. If you guys don't know what this whole project, I'll leave a link in the description down below to our first stop, which was Iron Man, 2008 film that started the MCU. And I'm basically going to be reviewing all the films leading up to Avengers Infinity War, guys. I'm going to have some special guests along the way and more details on that project, like I said, in the video linked down below. But this second stop, guys, again, like I said, The Incredible Hulk, released in 2008. This movie is kind of, sometimes overlooked because it's like that odd child out, It's that movie in the MCU that's not really an MCU film in some sort of way. It does have this end credit scene that, we're going to talk about later. But other than that, it's because it's a Universal film, so it's kind of like, okay, what's going on? And it doesn't really have that much to tie in, But without further ado, I do have another special guest for this review, and that is Tyler Calvert from his channel with his own name. And guys, check him out. Again, he's an amazing YouTuber. He has a lot of great reviews. So Tyler, take it away, man.
How's it going, everybody? Before I start the review, I just want to say a quick thank you to John for letting me be a guest on this review. So The Incredible Hulk, pretty much the most forgotten about MCU film, especially due to the fact that Edward Norton got replaced by Mark Ruffalo and pretty much everything after this film. It was actually really nice revisiting this film since I hadn't seen it in so many years because it came out so long ago. It came out almost 10 years ago. Isn't it hard to believe that this film actually came out in 2008? That's how long this MCU ride has been going on and still going on strong after all these years. Now, by no means is the Incredible Hulk my favorite MCU character whatsoever, but if he's done well, he actually can be pretty interesting. And I guess by default, this is the best Hulk movie, since the 2003 one directed by Ang Lee was pretty much awful. And they haven't really done anything else since The Incredible Hulk as far as like live action full-on movies, because they throw him into the Avengers and Thor Ragnarok, but I think there's like some legal issue for why they can't make another solo Hulk film. Anyway, back to The Incredible Hulk. If I had to start with any negatives, I really just wasn't a big fan of Liv Tyler in this film as Betty Ross. I mean, she doesn't really have that good of a chemistry with Edward Norton in this film, I feel anyways. And I feel like that kind of took me out of it because I just wasn't into their whole romance angle that they had in this film. And I do kind of feel bad picking on this film for this, since the film is like 10 years old. But the CGI in this film is pretty hit and miss. Like, some shots it's really amazing, and then some shots not so much. Because there are a few scenes in this film with the Hulk especially where I'm just like, yeah, that doesn't really hold up that well anymore. That's pretty video gamey, if that's a term. But yeah, I guess the CGI is kind of like eh. But it was 10 years ago, so it's not like I can knock it too much. I do, however, have a few positives with this film. As I was rewatching it, I realized that this film actually is pretty well paced overall. Like, it's not like a snooze fest like the 2003 film where you don't even see the Hulk for like the first hour of the film. Like, you see the Hulk, well enough in this film that you don't get bored. I do think the biggest highlight for me, though, was the Hulk versus Abomination fight. I mean, by the way, can we get a rematch of that fight? It's been 10 years. Because it just recently brought back Thunderbolt Ross for Civil War, so why not bring back Abomination too? Give Hulk another antagonist to fight. I could just be biased though, because Tim Roth actually probably had one of my favorite performances in the film, and he kind of just steals a lot of the scenes that he's in. It's pretty weird going back to Edward Norton playing their character, since I'm so used to Mark Ruffalo doing it now. And obviously I do probably prefer Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner, but Edward Norton didn't do a bad job in this film as the Hulk. His portrayal is different, but it does make me wonder how different the Avengers films and Thor Ragnarok would be if Edward Norton was playing the role instead of Mark Ruffalo. Overall, though, I really like The Incredible Hulk. It's very underrated, and most people it just flies over their head because it was so long ago, and there's been so many good MCU films since then. But it's definitely worthy of a watch, even if you're not a big MCU fan, if you just like, superhero movies. But if I had to rate or score this film, it would probably definitely at least be a B, because it's not like a bad film at all. So definitely go out and check this film out if you haven't watched it already, or if you're going to do a road to Infinity War like John's doing.
Alright, thank you, Tyler, for that incredible review, no pun intended. But again, guys, check out his channel. He has a lot of reviews, unboxings, just a lot of, reviews on like movies and just TV shows, a lot of stuff that, to be honest, sometimes I don't see and I miss, and I go check it out on his channel. So yeah, he's a great guy. He's become one of my fellow friends here on YouTube, so definitely go check him out. Again, link to his channel is going to be in the description down below. So The Incredible Hulk, 2008. To be honest, obviously mine's experience with it, it came out right after Iron Man, so everybody was riding that high of like, oh my god, there's gonna be an Avengers movie, Iron Man was so great, so let's go into this film, and it was, I think now looking back at it, I think that's why I kind of got mixed responses and stuff like that, because like I said earlier, it's kind of like the odd child out. Like it's for me, I'm gonna go ahead and say put this out of the way, or get this out of the way. It's a decent film. I liked it. Revisiting it, I was like, wow, you know what? This is not a bad film. I wouldn't say it's in my top 10 MCU films, but I wouldn't say it's in my top, like my bottom 5 or anything like that. It might be right in the middle. I think it's underappreciated, but again, it's just like seeing all the MCU movies now, and like I said, I kind of have my gripes with the MCU a little bit, but seeing how it is now laid out, it's kind of different, it's kind of has a different flavor, so, but overall, like I said, I like the film. So negatives, to be honest, like Tyler said, it kind of sometimes the CGI doesn't hold up. There's some good shots and stuff like that, but sometimes I would like to see it like flow, constantly. And I think maybe they try to rush it. I'm not really sure. Don't really remember. It's been 10 years, but because they had Iron Man, which in Iron Man that CGI holds up really well. But in this movie, some shots do, and some shots like you can, other than that, I personally did have some pacing issues. Like the movie flows well, but it's just like some of these scenes kind of come out of like nowhere and kind of don't really. It's kind of like an action scene, a slow scene, and kind of and then the so that's a little bit of an issue, but it's not there a lot. I'm kind of nitpicking with that. But other than that, I don't find any negatives to this. So let's go right ahead with my positives. To be honest, Edward Norton did a great job playing Bruce Banner and the Incredible Hulk. We are all kind of used to Mark Ruffalo now, and how his performance. And to be honest, he's my favorite Hulk, by default. But, I don't think Edward Norton did a bad job. It's just like, obviously it's a different take on Bruce Banner and Incredible Hulk. I think I also, real quick before getting back to Edward Norton and the performances, I think that they kind of try to get into this character of Bruce Banner and that whole ideal of like him battling with the Hulk and stuff like that, but they didn't flesh it out enough, and they didn't flesh it out like, they kind of try to balance the movie with action and that, and I think that's kind of the downfall of the movie a little bit. Because they didn't really know how to, this is Bruce Banner's story with the Incredible Hulk, kind of like Iron Man, So I would say that as a negative, not thinking about it. But getting back to performances, like I said, Edward Norton did a good job. Liv Tyler, she was okay. She doesn't bother me as much, but it's something that could have been done better. And again, remembering that now, the whole romance between them could have been done a little bit better too, kind of to understand like some of the Incredible Hulk's and Bruce Banner's sacrifices that he has to make. He can't be with the woman that he loves, because of this gift/curse, Tim Roth is incredible in this, and also man, I'm forgetting his name, but he plays Thunderbolt Ross. Damn, I'm blanking his name, but he did a great job as well. So overall, guys, I really, like I said, I really enjoyed this movie. I think I would see it again, like, hey, let's watch Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton. It's not one of those films like, So that being said, I have to give The Incredible Hulk, I think a solid 7 out of 10. I'm comfortable with that. I was going to say 7.5, but it doesn't quite get there for me. Like I said, those negatives do kind of bring it down, but a 7 for me is like kind of this fun film that I would rewatch again and again. And like if it's on like on the cable channel or something, I'll watch it. But all right, guys, there you have it. Our second stop on the road to Infinity War. That was for The Incredible Hulk, released in 2008. And again, Tyler Calvert, my special guest. Thanks so much for coming on my channel. I'm so glad that we finally collabed. Like I said, you've been one of my good friends here on YouTube, so it was awesome to do that and to include you here. But all right, guys, we are on the road to Infinity War. So next week we're gonna have the review for Iron Man 2. But we'll get through that one, and obviously we're gonna have Thor and Captain America, so look out for that next week, guys. Again, thanks, huge thanks for Tyler, and again I want to give a quick thank you again to Rudy from Rudy's Movie Reviews for that incredible intro. And now I think you guys can tell I used it for my outro as well. I had to find out another way to put it out there, but thanks again, Rudy. And yeah, guys, that's our review for The Incredible Hulk. If you guys want to give us your thoughts, again, sound off in the comment section down below. You guys want to find me outside of YouTube, you guys can at The Real Talk with 2 Ks on Instagram and Twitter, and on Stardust, just at The Real Talk. But alright, guys, until next time, I'll see you at the movies. Later.